The sun is shining on gamers everywhere. Much like social media, the music industry, TV and movies, there's almost a heavy oversaturation of content that is available to consume. But for those of us who enjoy gaming, this is a blessing in disguise for the community as a whole, because that means there's something out there for just about anyone to enjoy. And of those releases, I want to share with you my top 5 most anticipated titles, give you a few reasons to get pretty hype about them, and to learn what you're most excited for to release in Q4 of 2022. All right, so number one is probably a no-brainer and is probably the top on most people's list: God of War Ragnarok. I wish I could say this is the carrying Sony title for the year. I don't think that they've had any of their other PlayStation exclusive, will come to PC later type games released so far, other than I think Horizon Forbidden West, and the community that God of War has had behind it for such a long time. I think it's just going to outpace the Horizon series. This is going to be the second video game installment of the Norse era and is going to cap off that part of the series. And as much as people are excited about Ragnarok, they're also wondering which pantheon they're going to go to next. Maybe we'll find out at the end of the game. I'm also a firm believer that God of War Ragnarok is the reason we haven't had a PlayStation showcase or anything like that to build some hype and show some gameplay for some other upcoming Sony titles. They don't want to take any bit of attention away from God of War. They want all eyes on it when it releases November 9th. 2022. Next up is a game that comes out a little bit sooner than God of War, a couple of weeks in fact, and that is Gotham Knights from WB Games Montreal. Now, it's been a minute since we had a Batman game, but well, it's not a Batman game, is it? At first glance, you would think that Gotham Knights is a continuation off of the end of Arkham Knight. The trailer did seem pretty similar what we're talking about, the death of Bruce Wayne essentially. But as you keep watching and obviously see characters like Jason Todd, you also see Barbara Gordon, not as Oracle, but as Batgirl. It's gonna be a breath of fresh air to explore a Batman game essentially that doesn't feature Batman at all, but features some of those other characters of the Bat family. I think the multiplayer aspect is gonna be the biggest selling point for this game, as it's gonna allow friends to hop on together, have a good time, and embark on a Bat family adventure. We'll just have to wait and see if they really surprise us with something different with Gotham Knights, or if this is just another Arkham series clone when the game releases on October 21st. Up next is one that I think deserves to be in the middle because it's in a very sticky situation, one might say. Number 3 is Sonic Frontiers, which releases on November 8th of this year. Now, if that date sounds a little funny to you, that's because it is one day before God of War Ragnarok. There's been a lot of toss up with Sonic games in the last couple of years, but this one seems to stand out with the addition of a new open world aspect, a never before seen antagonist, and this will be the first time that Sonic is stepping on to next gen consoles. The only caveat is I wonder how split people will be between Sonic Frontiers and God of War. Do I think that the core Sonic community will jump on and at least buy Sonic Frontiers even if they get to playing it later? Absolutely. I'm just saying they better have a really good first day, because I know God of War already got them pre-order sales in. Number 4 on my list is High on Life, which releases December 12th, 2022, and is brought to us by the co-creator of Rick and Morty as well as Solar Opposites. Not very much to say about this game. It looks like a fun first-person shooter that's not meant to take itself too seriously. And the biggest plus is that it's set to come out on Game Pass, so if you're already into the Xbox Game Pass ecosystem, you are more than likely going to have this game available to you via Xbox Series S, Series X, or the PC if you've got Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Last but not least on my list, and this one might surprise you because I've never really talked about games in this genre ever, the Callisto Protocol, releasing on December 2nd, 2022. This game is a spiritual successor to Dead Space, as it comes from the same creator, and Dead Space is a franchise that I never really got to get into as a kid, but I heard a lot about it from my friends. Horror games are not usually my thing. I don't have a problem with them. I just never usually seem to finish them is the issue. Some of these I don't know if you consider horror, but I finished The Last of Us Remastered on PS4. I started but never finished The Last of Us Part 2. I bought the Resident Evil bundle back in 2020 because it was on sale, and never really touched it much. But I really hope to give this one a shot because I've heard a lot of good things about the Dead Space series. On that note of not finishing games, be sure to check out my next upcoming video where I talk about a few of the games I still haven't finished in 2022. You'd be surprised that some of them are games that were released before this year. And be sure to comment down below if any of these were titles that you were super excited for coming out in Q4 of 2022, or ones that I didn't mention that you're looking forward to as well. I'd love to hear it. Until next time, catch you in the next video.